The Supreme Court has been asked to block Biden student loan relief before it starts. A Wisconsin group calls plan unconstitutional and asks why taxpayers are having to bail out college educated Americans. So let's get right into this and feel free to give your own personal thoughts about this situation in the comment section. The Supreme Court has been asked to block President Joe Biden's massive student loan forgiveness plan before it is officially rolled out. The Brown County Taxpayers Association, or the BCTA, and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, which is WILL, sent the request to Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who handles such matters on behalf of the court for that region, asking them to put a hold on the relief plan before requests are processed this Sunday. In filing for an emergency injunction, they claim the move from the Biden administration is unconstitutional, oversteps its executive powers, and targets American taxpayers. The groups against Biden and Education Secretary Miguel Cardona earlier this month. Their forgiveness program allows 40 million Americans who earn less than $125,000 to receive up to $10,000, or Pell Grant recipients up to $20,000 to cover their debts. The Congressional Budget Office last month said Biden's ploy to wipe debt will cost the government $400 billion over 30 years, and Republicans have said it unfairly taxes Americans who haven't been to college. Will, President and General Counsel Rick Eisenberg said, it is critical that the U.S. Supreme Court weighs in on the President's unconstitutional student loan relief plan before Sunday, when the loan forgiveness could start. Will is proud to represent American taxpayers and to bring the first claim to be submitted to SCOTUS. BCTA President Rich Heidel added, what constitutional power does Biden have to take John Q. Public's money and pay Jane Q. public school loans? Why not her mortgage? Why not her car loan? How did the college educated caste become the lucky ones? When and how does this stop? This nonsense not only defies the U.S. Constitution, it defies common sense! Exclamation point. And if President Biden is doing this under the auspices of the federal government, what redress does John Q. Public have other than to take the fight to the federal judiciary? The Biden administration has been attacked from all sides over the debt forgiveness plan. 7 GOP-led states and a number of conservative legal groups have filed suit across the country. Over the weekend, the White House rolled out a beta version of the debt forgiveness application, and more than 8 million people submitted requests for relief. The official application launched on Monday. A federal judge earlier this month threw out the BCTA lawsuit, finding the taxpayers group did not have the standing to bring its legal challenge. The main challenge for those looking to overturn the policy is finding a plaintiff who can prove they've been harmed by it. The Wisconsin groups claim in their filing they are aware that the plaintiff must be able to claim direct injury, but the debt added to their tab as taxpayers should be enough. We are witnessing a gargantuan increase in the national debt accomplished by a complete disregard for limitations on the constitutional spending authority. Applicant and those similarly situated are being asked to assume perhaps over $1 trillion in debt, the filing read. The GOP-led states are arguing that Biden does not have the authority to act without Congress on student loans and claiming the policy would harm private companies by reducing their business. Frank Garrison, an attorney working for a conservative legal group, brought the first challenge to the plan and argued he had the standing to claim injury because the debt forgiveness would count as taxable income in his state. Although borrowers are not required to pay federal income tax on their canceled student debt, Thanks to a provision of Biden's American Rescue Plan of 2021, some states, including Indiana, where Garrison resides, can charge taxes on the relief. Garrison was already pursuing tax free debt cancellation through a government program, public service loan forgiveness, but says Biden's plan now causes him to have a $1,000 tax bill. So let's check out some of these comments. Don't recall this reaction towards PPP loan forgiveness that some Republican senators applied for and got is consistency just too much to ask for. Biden's executive order is definitely illegal. SCOTUS should immediately rule on this one. And let's go to the best rated. Okay. The student loan forgiveness is so unfair to us Americans who have paid back our loans. Biden/Harris equals disaster. Let's see. Now they need to block Biden draining the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to buy votes. Student loan forgiveness is completely outside the powers granted to a president by the Constitution. I didn't sign for their loans. Why should I have to repay it for them? I have a friend who voted for him only because she wanted him to erase student loan debt because her husband took out massive loans. He's made $100,000 the last 2 years and bought a Rolex, four designer purses, and two cars, but has yet to pay down his student loans. Being financially irresponsible is a choice. I agree. Right? Let's see. This is exactly what's going on. People with college degrees have significantly more lifetime earnings than the people being forced to pay for it. Let's see. Interesting. View all. Come on. Let's see. Take a look at Harvard's endowments. Why should I be burdened with paying off a loan I didn't apply for? FJB. Massive vote dash buying welfare scheme. I ate cheese sandwiches for 2 years after college so I could pay off my loan. Hey, props to you. And I have no regrets, as I did it without welfare and without expecting my parents to pay up. That's pretty awesome. Congrats to you, Jesse C12. What's fair for one is fair for all. I paid mine, you pay yours. This is the only reason that the government took over the student loans, so they could use it politically to hang out there as a carrot on a stick for those that want free stuff. Pay what you owe. I didn't borrow anything. Shut it down. I am tired of my tax dollars paying for others' laziness. It's not forgiveness, it's transferring the debt to other people. See, I think this is probably the best comment that actually explains what is truly going on, right? This is just basically moving one credit card debt to basically 12 other credit card debts that you don't own, other people own, and they're having to pay for it, right? Like, imagine that, right? Imagine if you had like a $10,000 credit card bill and the government basically forced nine other people to basically each have like a couple thousand, or a couple hundreds, if not $1,000. Actually, no, yeah. Let's just say nine people, each one with $1,000, so that they gotta basically help you pay off your your credit card debt, right? How crazy is that, right? It's just, I think the biggest problem for me isn't the fact that they're actually trying to do this, is that they're doing this while still giving out student loans, right? Hey, if you're going to do this, stop giving out student loans. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. I pay for 3 degrees, never took out a loan. I'll be a three-legged horned frog before I pay for someone else's higher education debt. The reality is, you're not even going to have a choice if they do end up actually doing it. I want my money back too. I had to get a job to earn enough money to pay back that loan over 10 plus years. I want a full refund of the loan amount, the interest paid, and the interest for the last few decades on the total amount I paid back. The thing is, I think some people are actually going to be able to apply for a refund, I believe. Obviously, I think it depends on what loans you had, if you did have loans. But here's the thing, if this stuff does go through, go ahead and apply for it, right? It's not morally wrong for you to apply for it. The reality is, you're just basically working within the system that was forced down everyone's throat, right? So just utilize it to your best financial interest, right? By the way, if you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go down below. Either way, this is still kind of sad to see.